In today's tutorial, we're going to be making crochet snowdrops. Hi, I'm Rosanna from Moara Crochet, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my second free crochet pattern for 2021. As per usual with all my free crochet patterns, there is a full photo tutorial on my blog and there is a link down below. And from there you can also access my other free crochet patterns and crochet knowledge, and also view the crochet patterns that I design. Don't forget to subscribe because every month I do release a new free crochet pattern. So let's get started. To make this example, I'm going to be using some DK cotton yarn and a 3mm crochet hook. When I was making my own brooch, I used a 1.25 crochet hook with some thread of very fine fingering weight yarn. To start, you're going to need to leave a 50 centimeter long tail before you make your magic circle. So I've got my long tail in front and I'm going to make my magic circle, so yarn over my first two fingers and make my cross. And I'm going to get my hook and pick up the second loop. Remove my fingers and there's my magic circle. Okay, for row 1, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to add 6 single crochet into our magic circle. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, there's our magic circle done with our 6 single crochet. So we're going to pull our yarn, our tail, to close this magic circle. And we are going to continue in the spiral, and we're going to add a single crochet into each stitch. Now this can be quite tricky, but just take your time because your work will start to turn on you and you will need to flip it round. As you can see now, my work is starting to turn inwards. I'm going to get to the end of this row before I start to turn it. So now I'm going to turn my work so it is the right way as I continue to make my snowdrop. Sometimes this can be very tricky if you're working with very small yarn. Okay, there we go. So I've turned my work. Now for row 3, I'm going to continue and add a single crochet into every single stitch. So that's 6 single crochet in total. Okay, and I'm going to slip stitch into my next stitch because this is my final stitch with the green yarn. I'm going to leave a 50 centimeter long tail and I'm going to pull my yarn all the way down to match with the tail of the magic circle. Here I pulled my yarn through and I've weaved it in and out down to the bottom so I can use these tails later to wrap around my florist wire. Okay, for row 4 we're going to switch to the white yarn. Now we're going to be working into the back loop only of our stitch. So this is the front, which is where we're going to attach the petal later. Now I'm just going to work into the back loop. So I'm going to attach my white yarn and I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to single crochet in every stitch. So that's 6 single crochet in total, all in the back loop only. So there's my back loop. Okay, let's continue back loop only. See, this can be a little bit tricky, but just take your time because you will need those front loops later. So that was number 4, now number 5. And number 6. Back loop. And there we go, there's row 4. Now for row 5 and 6, we're going to continue single crocheting in the round. So we'll have 2 more rows. Here I am at the end of row 6, and as you can see, I've finished. So I've fastened off and weaved in my ends, and now we're going to add the little green detailing on the top. Insert your hook into any stitch and collect your green yarn and attach. Okay, for this row we're going to chain 2. I'm going to count that as a picot, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the second from the hook and pull that through, and that creates our picot stitch. In the next stitch we're going to add a single crochet, and that will be our pattern. So it's going to be single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the second, pull through, single crochet into your next stitch, and continue that around once more. And once you finish, slip stitch into your first stitch and fasten off and weave in your ends. So once you finish your inner petal, it's going to look like this. And now we're going to add our petals starting from the 3rd row of the inner bud. And we're going to work from the front loop as we worked from the back loop previously. Now we're going to use the front loop. So insert your yarn into any stitch of the front loop from the 3rd row, as so, and attach your white yarn. So here's my white yarn. I'm going to pull that through. Okay, so for this row we are going to add a chain 1 to secure, and then we're going to add a single crochet into this stitch, and we're going to add another single crochet, and we're going to make that into single crochet increase. So our first stitch has 2 single crochet. In the next stitch, front loop only, it's going to be a single crochet, and that's our pattern. It's going to be single crochet increase, so 2 stitches in the same stitch, so 1, 2, followed by a single crochet. And as you can see, I like to single crochet over my yarn, the tail, so it's secured as I go along and it saves me weaving in the ends. Okay, our next repeat, just find that loop. Here it is. Sorry, let me turn. So single crochet increase, 1, 2, and a single crochet, and the final one. Now, as the previous rows, we're going to continue in the spiral. So for our second row, we're going to add a single crochet into every single stitch. So we just continue in the spiral, and in total we will have 9 single crochets. So there's my first. Okay, once you finish row 2, your petal will start to look like this. Now for row 3, we're going to add increases again. So we're going to add a single crochet into the next stitch, again continuing in the spiral. So single crochet, followed by a single crochet increase, followed by a single crochet, and that's our pattern. Will be single crochet increase, single crochet. So I'll do one more with you, try and keep it more focused. Single crochet, single crochet increase, that's 2 in the same stitch, single crochet, and we'll do the last one together. Single crochet, single crochet increase, that's 2 in the same stitch, followed by single crochet, and after row 3 you'll look like this. Row 4, now we're going to add our petals. So we're going to continue in the spiral, and we're going to do a repeat over the next 4 stitches. So the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet, and our next stitch we're going to do a double crochet and a treble crochet in the same stitch. So that's yarn over, insert, 3 on the hook, yarn over through the first 2 and through the second 2. There's your double crochet. Now we're going to add a triple crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over twice, insert into the stitch, pick up, 4 on your loop, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the next 2, and yarn over through your final 2. And that's your second stitch done. In the next stitch, we're going to add 3 stitches. So in this stitch, we're going to add 3 stitches. So we're going to start with a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, insert into the stitch, pick up. You've got 4 on your loop, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the second 2, yarn over through the last 2. And now we're going to add a double treble. Now this is simply the same as double or treble. We just add 1 more yarn over. So yarn over 3 times, insert into the loop, pick up. Now you've got 5 on your hook, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the second 2, through the third 2, and finally through the last 2. So there's our treble crochet and our double treble crochet. Into the same stitch, we're going to add another treble crochet. So yarn over twice, insert, pick up your yarn, yarn over through the first 2, second 2, and your final 2. Okay, so our petal's starting to form. We've got 1 more for our repeat. So we're going to add a treble crochet and a double crochet into this stitch. So yarn over twice, as we've done previously, and a double crochet. Okay, and there's our petal complete. So our pattern is single crochet, double and treble in the same stitch, treble and then a double treble and a treble, treble and a double. Okay, I'll do that 1 more time with you. So let's do the whole pattern again together. So single crochet in your next stitch, then we're going to do a double and a treble in the same stitch, now in our next stitch we're going to add a treble and a double treble and a treble. So yarn over twice, pull through 2 each time, now a double treble, so yarn over 3 times into the stitch, always pulling through 2 stitches at a time, and a treble again, yarn over twice, so there's the center of our second petal done. And then our final repeat, we're going to do treble and a double crochet. That's my treble and now my double. Okay, there's 2 petals done. So continue this over the last 4 stitches, single crochet, double and a treble, treble, double, treble and a treble, and then a treble and a double, and slip stitch into your first stitch and fasten off and weave in your end. Once you've finished your row, your snowdrop will look like this, and just simply bend your petals inwards to create that curved effect. Fasten off and weave in your end. Once you've finished your flower, we're going to insert your florist wire into the first row. So cut a piece of florist wire and insert it from one side into the other. Now this can be a little bit tricky, but just push it all the way through. And fold in the middle, because we're going to use this double length to create a more stable stem, and simply twist. And then what you're going to do with the long tails you had left from your green yarn, you're simply going to wrap around your florist wire all the way to your desired length and tie a knot at the end. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget there is a full written photo tutorial on my blog, and there is also the tutorial on how to make these crochet leaves. Don't forget to subscribe, as every month I do release a new free crochet pattern. I'll see you next month. Bye!